So there's a lot of information out there. You kind of don't know what to think, as far as what's healthy for you, what's not. I think that there's some very powerful tools that we have already in our bodies. We don't need to use our thinking so much. In the words of Albert Einstein, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babishoff, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're wondering what the show is about, it's 100% dedicated to creating a lifestyle designed to making the world better for people and for planet. Exploring alternatives to the daily grind through liberation and independence, moving from surviving to thriving and living life raw. So today, you guys, we're going to go into food, man. And I want to talk, I did a podcast already on some of my 7 favorite foods. And there's so much that I can put in there. And I would need to know from you guys what you guys want to hear. That one was really good as far as cheap, healthy, and organic meals that are easy to make and very, very healthy. I wanted to talk today about intuition. Intuition is really all you need, guys. And what do I mean by this is I'm going to give you guys an example that scientists study these gorillas, noticed that they were eating this certain plant. It might have been chimps, I'm not sure. I think it's one of those two. But anyhow, they're eating these plants and they found, they were just wondering why did they go and just nibble on these things? Took some samples of the plants and found out that they had natural antibiotics in them. There's nobody sitting there telling a fucking monkey, hey guy, there's some stuff over here through monkey science, which sometimes it could be a treat, I think we can call science. Monkey science said that go eat that plant. They knew there was something in it in their communication. How do these animals know this? One of my favorite permaculturalists is Zepp Holzer, and he says if you're going to pen animals up, you want to plant as much poisonous plants around the cage. Zepp Holzer, should you believe him? Should you follow him? The guy grosses like $500,000, it is said, in growing food naturally off the earth, and he's a freaking genius. Check him out for myself. That's why I almost worship the dude. He's amazing. So anyway, so he knows that he says the animals will actually eat a little bit if they get like a tummy ache. I think it was nightshade. It'll kill them if they eat the whole thing, but they know the instincts to not eat too much. You do as well. You got to be real though. Go in the grocery store. Most of the healthy stuff is all around the outside. Everything in the center is there to fucking kill you and your children and lure you in with rainbows. But use your intuition, and your eyes and your nose will actually tell you, and your lips, the texture, the color of stuff, vibrance. We're attracted to like bright red apples, you know what I mean? In contrast to like a dull apple. Your eyes know by color already that, hey, this is something healthy. Also, your smell and your mouth and your mind, your soul will actually look and go, you know what? I don't know why, and I've had this experience for myself, and I looked it up after a while, what was going on. I had a powerful lust for watermelon, and my young daughter, my special needs, I let her do this all the time too. We'll go in the grocery store and I'll say, pick out some fruits. You only get one of each. One time she wants grapes, one time she wants this. But if you have to use science in it, I found out that by eating watermelon all day is an actually way to naturally flush your congestion, I guess, your allergies. Whether it works or not, it seemed like it worked for me. Tip I'll give you guys is put watermelon and squeeze lemon juice on top and add some Himalayan pink sea salt. Damn, that shit is good, especially on a hot day. But yeah, we don't need to think, guys. There's eggs. Sometimes you need meat. I know that there's vegans out there, so I'm not telling you guys to eat meat, but you know which vegetables you'll need just by the intuition. Let your hands, your eyes, and your soul guide you in the grocery store. This is an interesting tip I want to give you guys. Is I saw one. It's called High Power Your Immune System, and this is where I'm going with this. And yes, it does involve science, but so science is telling us that your blood pressure will actually raise up when there's some foreign object, when there's something bad in there. It gets the pressure of the blood to go out and get the protective little army in gear to get everything running. Hey guys, we're under attack. Boom, boom, boom. It starts pumping. This guy on this show was kind of insinuating, suggesting that what you would do is sit down in bed and check your blood pressure and get it down to where, just check it. See what level you're at. Introduce a new food in your mouth. Chew one like a grape or something and swallow it. Wait about 5 minutes, I think is the way it went, and then check your blood pressure again. If your blood pressure rises, that means you're allergic to that particular food. I thought this was interesting. Have I tried it? No. But I kind of dry run it in my head, and I'm like, you know what? This kind of makes sense. Supplementing your nutrient loss with supplements. A lot of you guys are probably not aware out there, but tell me if this makes sense. Put this shirt on and wear it for a second. It's not very profitable for farmers to worry about all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that go in their farm, especially when you're competing with other people. So the trick is to use like NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and whatever. I don't know why I always lose that one. So they're not really focused on growing stuff. Now, if you give plants NPK, nitrogen, and phosphorus, and just calcium and things like that, you're going to get a good looking plant. But plants absorb whatever's in the ground, they absorb up. A very interesting fact is that sunflowers actually absorb arsenic. You can, if there's dirty land someplace, where there's toxins in there, you can plant these sunflowers and they'll actually suck everything up. It'll be held inside the stalks and in the flowers. From what it is said, you can pull these plants out and discard them in another location. There's also been some E. coli outbreaks, and what they found was literally farm pickers were pooping in the right in the aisles, right down the pathways with the lettuce. It's disgusting. That's another reason why you should grow your own fucking food, dude. You never know. But you see what's happening? The plants were sucking up the nutrients. So we're eating very vibrant looking foods, but we're being fooled. The way to combat this, because we always look for suggestions, we don't want to sit there and talk bad about how everything is. We want answers, right? An interesting guy is Andrew Sauls, where I get his information. He gives all his information for free. That's kind of why I look and go, I really trust this guy. He wrote a book called Doctor Yourself. Hear the man out. It doesn't matter. Synthetic vitamins are not that great for you. It's better to get natural, but if you're in a jam, something's better than nothing, from what Andrew Saul says. Check him out, Doctor Yourself, Andrew Saul. Multivitamin in the morning for my child and one at night, twice a day. Keep those vitamins in you. And I know some of you are going to say, what's the use? You're pissing them all out. Listen to what Andrew Saul says. It's very interesting how it's your body's not vitamin dependent or deficient. Sometimes it's vitamin dependent, and that means it'll soak up everything it can, and yes, you'll pass some out, but he's got a way of explaining that way better than I can. I speak a lot on blenders, your best friend. I said that on the earlier podcast, but I'll say it again here. You can blend food up, and basically what it does is it makes it easy to digest, especially if you're in a run, you're in a hurry in the hustle and bustle. You drink it, and there's not much big chunks in there that your body has to really work to digest. So if you're like me, doing really hard physical labor, or I think even thinking, you kind of digest this through, your body absorbs what it needs. And this is another area where you can add supplements of anything you want, like chlorophyll, I think it is, the green kelp, all kinds of whatever you want. Just put it all in there, put it in a convenient jar, batch these things, which is, batching is your best friend, is a blessing. It's coming up. Do these in large numbers, and then you don't even have to drive anywhere. And think about the time you're saving. Make yourself a smoothie in a jar. That's your lunch. You're losing weight. You're saving money. The time that it takes you to get your break in your car, and I've experienced this on my job, by the time you drive over to the burger place and get a burger and wait line and drive all the way back or eat it there, you just wasted like 20 minutes, man. When you can drink that smoothie, go into your car and take a 10-minute cat nap, and then try to figure out how the hell you're going to get out of the shit job you got because you hate it and you want to do your dreams. I'm back. So yeah, your best friend, man. And in that podcast, I'm gonna go quickly here. You want to batch things and get your food going that way. That way, it's not a lot of work. But you want to pick foods also that have a natural high shelf life. And the ones I did on the podcast earlier, you should take a look at it. Is apples, bananas, potatoes, garlic, carrots, onions, and tomatoes. And I want to leave you guys with one last tip I have here. Steel cut rolled oats. I hated to eat my fucking oatmeal. You eat oatmeal and it's like, you know what? You're hungry within an hour. These steel cut rolled oats, guys, they're like rice. Like there's this big grain in them. They're fucking jamming. And let me tell you the simplicity. Organic too, and cheap. And you could batch these things out in minutes, or you can make them every day. Get yourself a little mason jar, right? Put in about 1 cup to 2 cups of steel cut rolled oats. Get yourself some milk, like I use rice milk or coconut milk. Fill the jar all the way up. It's going to absorb water, so you want to put twice as much, if not a little bit more water or milk than actually the volume of oatmeal. Then you're going to take some jam, like a tablespoon, dump that in there. My preference is it's a tablespoon of honey. Just put that in there, add a little pinch of salt, and that's it. No cooking, no nothing. Give it a good shake. The honey will actually melt out throughout the day into the milk, and that gets into the oats. Bring yourself a spoon, undo the top of the jar, eat that shit, and it is cheap, healthy, and if you make it during the day, I don't think this would need refrigeration for like 2 days, unless you're using like raw, cow's milk. But yeah, low refrigeration, long shelf life. These things will last you Again, using non-dairy products, they'll last you for at least 5 to 6 days. So there you go, guys. I've given you some ways to get healthy, to get on your shit, to get out of the system, and to function better on a cheaper level, happier, healthier, better for the planet, and better for you on all aspects. Do you guys like this sort of thing? Check out the private group at Facebook. Everything's at Up and In It. I made it private so we can kick any buttholes that come in and try to fight people or cause trouble, and we can have a family there. So it has to be approved. I approve everybody right off the bat. We just want to have control. There's Instagram where I post about my mini retirements and all kinds of other stuff every single day. Of course, there's YouTube and the podcast. And as I always say, don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire, human up, live it, love it, own it, and bone it.